Welcome to another episode of $1 Million Worth of Game Business Spotlight, where we give you the news you can use. Today, we got Shaniqua Nicole. She's coming up here. She's not playing games. Black Wealth Weekly Community. She's going to give you a free Black Wealth ebook bundle and live masterclass. So you're getting the ebook and you're getting the masterclass. All you got to do is go to blackwealthlive.com and also follow her. Check her out. She's giving up games. She's doing her thing. She's making moves. You can catch it in real time. Money Maven Club on Instagram. Check her out. She's not playing the games now. Shaniqua, now, you know, you got so many secrets. You got so much game. What are you teaching the people today?
Yeah, so basically I'm teaching people, number one, how to save money in taxes so that we can go and invest, right? When I was 19, I started working on Wall Street. And what I realized is that the billionaires, they are focused on not paying no money in taxes. And what are we going to do with this money? We need to invest, right? And what I learned over the last 19 years is that taxes is the number one killer to wealth, right? When we buy something, we pay sales tax. When you work a job, you pay income tax. When you own real estate, you pay your real estate taxes. If you inherit something from your family, you pay inheritance taxes, right? So taxes is going to be the number one killer of wealth. I'm sure y'all remember actually what we just learned about tariffs, right? So we got tariffs going crazy. Nobody knows what to do, right? So being an accountant for the last 17 years, it's really taught me the strategies that the wealthy use so that you can save money in taxes. And then we're going to take that money and we're going to invest so that we can build real wealth.
So how do you save?
How do we save?
Yeah.
Listen, I'll give you one play. I mean, we can look at our president, right? What he did to mitigate his taxes on real estate. President Trump, what he did was he buried his ex-wife on his land. Guess what that did? That turned his land into a cemetery. Now he don't have to pay real estate taxes, right? So we got to understand that we are literally paying taxes in every aspect of our life. So once you learn the strategies, how you are going to move your money, make your money flow through your bank accounts, make your money flow through business, make your money flow through real estate, then you can learn how you're gonna mitigate taxes, right? Next thing we do is we need to figure out where are we putting this money. So for me, I went from buying my first property in Detroit for about $16,000. I just had a couple dollars. I wanted to get into real estate. And, you know, I had been building my tax business, so I had some money. And when I decided to leave my corporate job, what I realized was that I'm just sitting on money. And this money is not doing anything for me. So I have to figure out how do I take my money and invest it so that I don't have to work as hard, right? If I wasn't selling a client, if I wasn't bringing somebody into my business, I wasn't making money. So first thing I did was I invested in real estate. I bought a property for about $16,000 cash in Detroit, Michigan. First project, I loved it, went super well. And so what I teach people is how you go from that first property and scale, right? So I bought my first property, $16,000 cash, and within 3 years, I owned $3 million of real estate. So I learned how you leverage credit, right? How you can leverage debt. And then how this all is going to build your portfolio. I mean, and you look up 3-5 years later, you $3, $5, $10, $20 million in. And it really all literally started from me learning how to save money in taxes. And this is what I teach my clients.
Now, so when we get this, this wealth ebook bundle, right? What's in that bundle? Give us a little.
Yeah, so the bundle is crazy. The bundle is crazy because the first thing we're going to learn is mindset. Right? So you got to learn how to master your mindset to understand that you deserve whatever it is you want, right? Like you deserve the money you want, you deserve the wealth that you want. And the reason that you have those desires is because God gave it to you. So first thing we conquer is mindset. How do you develop your dream life? Like, what does that look like? Right? We all say we want the mansion, we want the things, right? But what does that path actually look like? So I literally take people through an exercise called the dream life planning. We sit there, we figure out what is the house that you want. Okay, you want a 6-bedroom house, 5,000 square feet. How much is that going to cost? How much are you going to pay for the house? How much are you going to pay for the house monthly? What's your dream car? How much are you paying monthly for the dream car? So now we have a target on how much money you at least need to make in your business so that you can plan, right? So once you have a vision, right? God gives you the vision. That's all you need. And then if you make the plan, once you put it on paper, it's already done. So that's the first thing we do. We build out our dream life. We figure out how much it's going to cost, and then we build out the financial plan. So what investments is it going to take for me to obtain the Lambo? What investments is it going to take for me to buy the Rolls Royce? And then we are learning credit, right? We're learning how to leverage debt, bringing in people like Dion. Everybody knows Dion Coopwood. We bringing Dion in to get you access to 6 figures in funding. And lastly, we teach you how to protect all of that, right? Because what I've learned over the last 20 years of my career is that most of us are first generation. You know what I'm saying? So we get the money, but we don't let's say you make $1 million this year. And most people building, busy, they don't know what taxes look like in their first $1 million year. But guess what? You could be paying $570,000 in taxes. But if you out here living $1 million lifestyle, because that's how fast the money is coming in, you're not going to be prepared to pay a couple $100,000 when it comes to paying that tax bill. You know, so what I do is I help people structure out that plan so that way you're not overspending, you're putting your money in the right places, and then you build out your trust so that it protects everything.
Yeah.
Even if, you know, you get in a situation where maybe you owe the IRS or maybe you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't realize that the IRS can literally take anything from you, right?
Elaborate on that.
Yeah,
so people can know.
Meaning they will put you in jail. They will take their life from you if you're not, you know, if you don't pay your taxes, right? If you tax evasion is illegal in this country, so they can take your freedom. If you have properties that you're not paying taxes on, they can take your properties, right? So we're not building this wealth to just give it away. So we have to learn how to put in protective measures such as trust, right? Such as different business entities that might be owned in other countries where the government they have no jurisdiction, right? So if you own an apartment building and it's owned by a company that's based out of the country, there's no jurisdiction for them to, you know, to come after that company because the company is based in Cayman Islands or, you know what I'm saying? So we help you structure out that wealth plan so that you're well protected and you're passing this money down.
Mm-hmm. So the live masterclass, right? How often you do that? And what's in that? What's going on in that masterclass?
Yeah, so the live masterclass, we're literally pretty much painting the picture on what your 7-figure portfolio looks like, right? So when I first started, I was making about $40,000 a year. And I didn't see my $1 million plan. I didn't see it in front of my face. So what we're going to do is we take an average everyday people that work jobs, $50,000, $60,000. What does it look like if you put away 10% of your salary a year? And, you know, how can that compound for you? So that's a process that essentially we're taking people through. What plan are you putting in place? What can you do over a long period of time? Right? What I learned is wealth is not built. It is not always built quickly, right? Especially for the average person. The average person, you have to build wealth over time. And so what that looks like is taking $100 every month, right? If that's your budget, you take your $100. Or it might look like taking $2,000 a month and you putting that away every single month, right? It depends where you are, but we're taking people from where they are to where they want to go. Most people are planning to at least be the first generation millionaire. So that's the end goal, is to help people build out their 7-figure plan so that you can be the first generation millionaire in your family.
Once again, man, we got Shaniqua, Nicole up here. And what's going on is that you need to go to blackwealthlive.com right now so you get this free Black Wealth ebook bundle and live masterclass. She's not going to be playing. She's going to be in there teaching a bunch of stuff. We talking about Black Wealth Weekly Community. So this weekly. Every week she just going on. So you can just pull up one day, pull up to her building online in the Black Wealth. You can go pull up to the blackwealthlive.com building and just soak some game up, get everything you need to know. When was it that the light hit, the switch clicked on you, Shaniqua, and you said, I got to put this together?
Yeah, so I'm from the projects in Trenton, New Jersey.
Oh, man, you right up the street.
I'm right up the street. Like, I've been in the clubs with you when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I used to throw parties out here in Philly because I'm from Jersey. Yeah. So I always have been like a high achiever. You know, I've always been wanting like what's next, right? So it clicked for me when I started working on Wall Street. And I used to manage these multi-billion funds. So let's just say I manage like Walmart's retirement plan. And I started at 19. So when I was looking at these employees' plans and they had 6 figures in their retirement plan and they're working at Walmart, it totally threw my brain for a loop because I thought that people at Walmart made $7 an hour. I didn't think that they would be able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So that's when it clicked for me. Like, it's not about, you don't have to make a whole lot of money all the time, right? It's about what you do with your money over time that helps you build real sustainable wealth at whatever, whatever level it is for you. Also, my mom unfortunately went through bankruptcy and things like that. So that taught me how you have to protect yourself, how you can protect your assets, right? How you can move property and things like that around so that you're protected in the worst case scenario. And I'll say this, I've seen clients, right? I've been working with clients for 20 years and I've seen clients make a whole lot of money, buy a whole lot of things, leverage debt, leverage debt, but not properly structure their business, and then the money dries up. You know what I'm saying? Money dries up. Cash flow is tough. It's tight. Now you have to get rid of properties, or now you have to, you can't leverage your debt because you done messed your credit up. So it's very important that we build our foundation solid. And so that's what I want to teach people is you don't have to make $1 million to be a millionaire. You don't have to make $1 million to be a millionaire. You can be a millionaire on paper. You can do it slowly. You can do it working a job. And it just takes doing the little things that we're going over on the masterclass, doing those things consistently, and you'll have your millions.
Listen, man, this is another episode of $1 Million Worth of Game Business Spotlight. We not playing. Shaniqua Nicole came over here. She gave you the Black Wealth Weekly Community Game. She's going to give you a free Black Wealth ebook bundle and live masterclass. Go to blackwealthlive.com. Also go to Money Maven Club on Instagram and check her out. She's going to be on there popping and pop. She's going to be talking that talk. But this is another episode of $1 Million Worth of Game Business Spotlight, where we give you the news you can use, and it's just like that.